We have some huge NHL signings to discuss today, including guys like Pierre, Dubois, Patrik, Laine, and several others. We'll discuss the latest news coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. As I mentioned, we have some pretty significant signings to talk about here today, with the biggest being the Patrik Laine contract extension with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Obviously, we just put out a video a short time ago on the trade that sent Oliver Bjorkstrand from Columbus to the Seattle Kraken. Of course, that was a cost-cutting measure to make them cap compliant. After this Laine contract was finally accepted and signed. So Patrik Laine will be staying in Columbus on a 4-year deal. He gets an 8.7 average annual value. It gets a $2 million signing bonus each year, the rest paid out in actual salary. So, of course, that covers 1 RFA year and 3 UFA years. Laine could have accepted a qualifying offer and been an unrestricted free agent here in 1 year's time. But ultimately, Laine at this point is going to be staying a little bit longer with the Jackets. I think he got off to a rocky start. That was largely, I think, due to the not real great match with the head coach there, John Tortorella. But, of course, they have a new head coach now. We've seen some other changes, including a pretty significant free agent signing in Johnny Gaudreau. And to me, I think Laine could be in a real good spot to be able to play with a guy like Johnny, who's an excellent playmaker and setup guy. Got some young guys with some talent like Sillinger and Johnson. To me, he's in a good spot. I'm a little surprised they moved Bjorkstrand. As I said in the other video, I thought it might be more a guy like a Gus Nyquist or something that was traded. But ultimately, I guess there probably was more interest in a Bjorkstrand, which I understand. But ultimately, I don't know really if the Jackets are really a whole lot better after the trade. But I guess Laine, to me, well-deserved contract. He is a former 40-goal scorer, and I think playing with the players he can be on a line with now, with the new coach, I think that he can get back to that in Columbus and actually be in contention again for the Rocket Richard Trophy like he was there for a few years previously. At one point, it looked like he was going to be the next dominant scorer, taking over for Alex Ovechkin. Ovechkin hasn't really slowed down, and Laine kind of did, and we'll see if he can get back on track. He's still in his early 20s, so there's still lots of hockey ahead of him, and see what can happen here. And of course, the other major signing today, a little bit more than the others that we're talking about today, is Pierre Dubois is finally under contract with the Winnipeg Jets. He accepts his qualifying offer. Of course, today at 5 o'clock Eastern time was the cutoff for players to do that. Of course, they could have also filed for arbitration. Some did. In Dubois' case, he did not. So obviously, it was either accept the qualifying offer today, or this could have drug on a lot longer. Now, of course, Pierre Dubois is also expected to meet with the media on Monday, and I'm sure he's going to get lots of questions after a lot of the comments have been made publicly, especially through his agent recently, saying about his desire to play in Montreal in the short term. Lots of rumors that he doesn't want to be in Winnipeg and wants to get to Montreal as soon as possible. But at least under contract, and no longer have to worry about any potential offer sheets or anything of that nature, because he certainly left that open by not going to arbitration. But now it's got a done deal here. So he'll make $6 million for the coming season. He can't do an extension until January on a 1-year deal, which I'm sure at this point he's not overly concerned about, because it sounds like he doesn't want to stay in Winnipeg. So if he does get traded, then perhaps he'll negotiate an extension at that point with the Habs if it takes place. But Montreal could certainly be patient and wait and try to get him as a UFA when that time comes. But he's got this year and one more year before he can get to that. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. Lots of talk around Dubois to the Habs, and it doesn't make sense for them to give up a bunch of assets for him when they could sign him in 2 summers from now. So we'll have to wait and see. But Dubois officially under contract. I do have concerns though about him if he doesn't get traded. If he starts the season, we saw what he did in Columbus when he was trying to force his way out of there. He really wasn't giving a good effort, and if he does that, that's real bad news for Winnipeg. He's going to end up getting himself benched, hurting his team, and I hope he doesn't pull a stunt like that again. But we'll have to wait and see where this goes. Of course, other signings here today include San Jose Sharks signing the recently acquired Steven Lawrence. He gets a 2-year deal with an average annual value of $1.05 million. So that's a pretty good deal for him. He should get more of an opportunity, I would think, in San Jose after coming over from the Carolina Hurricanes. The Dallas Stars have signed defenseman Will Butcher. Of course, he's kind of fallen off the last few years. At one point, when he was first coming to the NHL out of college, he was a fairly sought after player, and he certainly is not the player he used to be. I think it's fair to say his value has certainly fallen back quite a bit. He only gets a two-way deal now, 1 year, two-way, $750 at the NHL, $300 at the AHL. He played last year in Buffalo after spending some time in New Jersey. We'll see what the future holds for Will Butcher. The Dallas Stars have a pretty good blue line. I don't know how much playing time he'll actually be able to work himself into there. The Anaheim Ducks have made numerous signings. They've signed defenseman Urho Vakanainen, who of course they acquired from the Boston Bruins earlier at the deadline. He gets a 2-year contract valued at $850,000 per season. Pretty fair deal for a prospect, still promising young defenseman trying to, progress himself into a full-time regular spot. They also signed defenseman Simon Benoit. He gets a 1-year, two-way deal, as well as the prospect goaltender Ollie Eriksson Ek, also a 1-year, two-way contract. They're likely to spend a lot of time at their AHL affiliate. And of course, we also have some signings as well in Tampa. We have an ELC signing, Lucas Edmonds, who's a 3rd-round pick from the 2022 NHL draft, 21 years old, put up a 113-point season playing this past year in the OHL for the Kingston Frontenacs. So obviously a big year, but obviously his overage season. So you would expect him to be a more dominant player. He had previously played, all of his prior hockey was in Sweden, so I'm sure he was likely, kind of playing against older players and, a higher, more mature level. So I, should have expected him to do as well as he did, but that gets him his entry-level deal with Tampa, and we'll see how he will adapt to the pro hockey situation here once he gets going into fall. And of course, the New Jersey Devils also made a signing today as well, signing young forward Jesper Boqvist to a 1-year, two-way contract as well, $874,000. So of course, we've already talked about our trade today with Columbus and Seattle. We get these signings. Stay tuned. There will be one more video coming up. There's still some more news to discuss here today, including some more information on the situation with Hockey Canada and a few trade and free agent rumors as well coming soon. So certainly let me know your thoughts on these signings down in the comments. We'll discuss further. Stay tuned for the other video coming out here this evening. And look forward to seeing your comments. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you're new to the channel, of course, make sure you're subscribed and stick around. We'll keep up to date with the latest news, rumors, and analysis on all 32 NHL teams. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.